It was Kwanzaa begins, Boxing Day in Canada on the island of Sodor. The engines were busy and bustling, even after the Christmas holidays. There were still people and parcels being delivered to friends and family far and wide across the island. The passenger loads were especially heavy for the engines, especially Henry, who had trouble pulling his on the slippery rails beyond Wellsworth. Fortunately, Sir Topham had limited the schedule for all the engines, and they deserved a nice warm rest in the sheds, especially some of the engines who came to the mainland to help. At Farquhar, the snow was getting intense. The engines were deciding to rest for the night. At the mansion, Sir Topham got a phone call when the butler arrived. "Excuse me, sir, but there is an important matter that Thomas needs to do. It's regarding Mrs. Kyndley and her family." Sir Topham listened carefully to the telephone, and then he hung up. "Butler, I need Thomas to bring Annie and Clarabelle to take Mrs. Kyndley and her family directly to the mainland." At Farquhar, meanwhile, Toby, Percy, and Glenn were talking in the sidings. "You know, this reminds me of all those past years on the island with all this snow." Indeed. Oh, of course. I remember all those wintry times, especially when I was before even Thomas actually came to the line. It's been incredible so far." "Yes, it has. No doubt about it," said Toby. As Thomas was about to make his way into the sheds, it happened. A workman came up. "I just received a note from Sir Topham Hatt that, Thomas, you need to take Annie and Clarabelle and straight to VicarsTown to take Mrs. Kyndley and her family, or Flying Scotsman will take him to the mainland." "Of course, sir," said Thomas. "I'd be honored." Annie and Clarabelle were ironically waiting at the platform to be taken. "We are so excited. We're just so waiting for this moment to happen." "Yes, indeed, girls. Let's go." Thomas's fire was lit. The driver and fireman climbed into the cab, and Thomas made his way to the platform. Mrs. Kyndley's family was boarding the coaches, and at that moment, Thomas backed up to the coaches and was coupled up. "Whew, this is cold work," said the driver. "No wonder about that," said the fireman. "But next time, I'll help you." "Be careful, Thomas," said the station master. "The snow is getting very heavy. You may need to get your snowplow just in case. But that is up to you," said the station master. "Oh, don't worry. We'll keep an eye out. Especially we don't hit any rocks or anything." "Yeah, we can all recall," said Thomas. Thomas didn't want to be reminded, or did want to be reminded at the time, in the snow and hit a rock with an old snowplow. At the cottage, Mrs. Kyndley was waiting patiently and importantly. She was looking forward to going to the mainland with her family, to spending time. The snow was falling. The wind was blowing pretty intensely. "I would just wish Thomas was here now," said Mrs. Kyndley. But then, out of nowhere, Thomas appeared. The fog. He puffed closely, carefully, and cautiously, as slowly as he could. So that way, Mrs. Kyndley was able to board the coaches. Thomas stopped. The fireman got out to take Mrs. Kyndley and guide her into Annie. And Thomas resumed his journey to VicarsTown. The snow was getting thick, and the fog was getting even thicker. Thomas puffed steadily and quickly, so that way he wouldn't have an accident. He puffed along his branch line, beside the roadway where Bertie and Thomas had their race years ago. Then, Thomas walked across the field. The old bridge was swaying in the distance. It was about to give way, and Thomas was able to cross it just in time before support gave way. And Thomas made away his branch line through the gorges, then popped through a station, past the windmill at Crow's Farm Crossing, then passed through Dryaw, and finally, Thomas passed the famous windmill. But just then, Thomas's driver realized something, and he stopped the train. The snow was getting thicker by this point. We need to get Thomas's snowplow on. But we don't have it on him, and we can't go back. The station is... I'll go to the nearest signal box. So the driver went back to the nearest signal box. He telephoned for Thomas's snowplow to be delivered. And Thomas had his regular snowplow on, unlike the orange and black one he had earlier this year. By this point, Thomas was slowly making his way up Gordon's Hill. Fortunately, there wasn't much of a wait with the train, but Thomas struggled through the fog and the thick snow. "You can do it, Thomas," said the coaches. "Doing my best," said Thomas, wearily. "Come on, we're almost at the top," said Annie. And finally, just like that, Thomas and Annie made their way over the hill. "Well done, Thomas," said the driver. "Well done." And Thomas was able to puff his way over to the other side of the hill so he could meet with Flying Scotsman at VicarsTown. It was late when Thomas arrived at the VicarsTown. Flying Scotsman was waiting with a special train destined for the mainland. "Here at last," said Thomas. "Hello, Thomas. It's very nice to see you. Great that you got the Kyndleys here in fine, safe fashion." And then, at that moment, Sir Topham had arrived with a workman. He was waiting to see Thomas. "Thomas, you did very well. You got me out of a very awkward situation. Thank you very much, Thomas. I'm very proud of you. Sir Lotham Hat was here. Sir Topham, Sir Lotham, and the workmen were expected to go back to Sodor." "Oh, this is very fine work, Thomas. Very well done." "Indeed," said the workman. "Thomas, I'm very pleased that you were able to get through most of your journey without your snowplow until you needed one. Good job. The weather's supposed to be much worse tonight and tomorrow. Scotsman, good luck and be safe." "Certainly, sir. Will do." "My goodness, Thomas, you are some engine, you are." "Thank you," said Thomas. Then Mrs. Kyndley got out of the coaches. "Thomas, thank you so much. You did very well. And you made it safe. Merry Christmas, Thomas." "Thank you," said Thomas. "Thank you so much. Oh, it is a fine time of the year. Christmas just wouldn't be Christmas without snow and all sorts of things," said Flying Scotsman. At that moment, the Kyndleys boarded Flying Scotsman's coaches. They nestled into the coaches, the guard blew the whistle, and Flying Scotsman made his way. "Goodbye, Thomas, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year." "Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you too, Tom." As Flying Scotsman made his way with the coaches, taking the Kyndleys and other people to meet their family members at the mainland. Thomas watched as the last coach crossed the drawbridge. "Wow," said Thomas. "Amazing stuff, isn't it?" The driver and the fireman had to agree, as it was a special time of the year on the island